Do you know anything about the Chamber of Secrets?
At Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, the second year has commenced. And for Harry Potter and his friends,
Welcome home.
a new adventure has begun.
I must ask you not to scream.
Hold still!
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
Now, something is stalking the students at Hogwarts.
The Chamber of Secrets has indeed been opened.
Terrible things are about to happen. Unless the culprit is caught, the school will be closed.
And they must face the greatest adventure
I died.
How?
they've ever known.
Let us hope that Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day.
Don't worry. I will be.
Hold on!
An excellent suggestion!
From Warner Brothers Pictures,
How dare you steal that car!
the story that captured the imagination of the world
Your scar is legend.
returns.
Diagonally. Wow!
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
So sorry, dozed off. What have I missed?
By the way, Harry, happy birthday. I approached the second one, as it was my favourite book, I approached it as because it's a much darker story. And I think Harry's character is very different from in the first film. So I think he, as he has developed so much, I had to develop myself as well. So I reread the second book basically, and I tried to kind of get into, I've now developed kind of two instincts, my instinct and Harry's instinct. And so I kind of think if I'm in a situation in the film, I think, how would Harry react to this? And so I try to bring that across onto the screen. I wouldn't have swapped this for anything. It was a really fun time, and it's the best experience. And I've developed as a person so much, everybody on set has. I think even the adults have developed. And we all kind of, especially me, Rupert and Emma, and some of the other kids have developed really strong bonds now as well. This is a real key moment in the entire film. This is, I think, probably one of the scenes where it gets really dark, because Harry then starts to speak Parseltongue, which is a language which means he can talk to snakes. And basically, everybody in the school then starts to suspect that he is the heir of Slytherin, because Salazar Slytherin was also a Parseltongue. And so this is Parseltongue comes into the film a lot, and it's very important to really pick up on it. And it was very fun to do, because I got to learn bits of another language. I got to learn 3 phrases of this language, which had been invented by somebody at the linguistics department of Cambridge University. He is, I guess, a fraud, and he's just... Girls love him, boys hate him, because they pretty much, and most of the boys do, because they just know he's a real show-off, and they know they all know that something's not quite right, and so they're very edgy around him. They're just embarrassed by him. He's cringeworthy. He's just, ugh. But Ken Branagh, on the other hand, is the nicest man on earth. Jason Isaacs' character is Lucius Malfoy. He is a slime ball, basically. He was a follower of Lord Voldemort, and he's a real snob as well, and he's got long blonde hair, the same colour as Draco Malfoy's, and so he hates the Weasleys and the Malfoys hate each other. It's like the Jets and the Sharks in West Side Story. They really hate each other. They both work for the Ministry of Magic, except the Malfoys are a lot richer. I think everybody on set has really developed as actors and actresses. So I think I have become, one of the ways I think I've developed is I'm not quite so shy about putting ideas forward. Because in the first film I wouldn't have done it. But in the second I think I'm beginning to, I kind of have a bit more confidence with putting ideas forward and trying new things and doing different line readings. And so I think the second film has proved to be much more of a challenge, but hopefully I've met the challenge and I've done hopefully quite well. Chris has given me a love of film. I didn't go out and watch films that often. I wasn't that interested. I started doing Harry Potter, and he was just talking to me about all these films. I thought, I have wasted 11 years of my life. I should have been watching films like, I don't know, 12 Angry Men and things, and What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and those are my two favourite films. I should have been watching them ages ago. So he's definitely given me that, but apart from that, he's just so kind and generous. And his energy, me and him get our energy from each other. It's like if I'm really psyched up, then he will be too. I think it's funnier than the first film. It's got more action in, and also it's got a lot. It's got a lot more emotional depth, especially to Harry's character, and as I said before, it's a lot scarier, a lot darker, a lot creepier. So it's really, and there are lots of, because Harry finds this diary, talks to Tom Riddle in the diary, finds out that Hagrid opened the Chamber of Secrets. So he then he finds out this, and because of Aragog, so he then goes to Aragog in the forest to find out if Hagrid really did do it. Aragog says no, he didn't. Harry's back to square one. So there are loads of twists and turns everywhere.
I think in the second book, Hermione kind of develops. She becomes more friendly with Harry and Ron, and she definitely becomes more sort of easygoing. She's kind of a little less sort of obsessed with books and work, and she kind of settles down a bit, which I think's good because it doesn't take away her character, but it sort of just softens it down a bit, which is good. Well, in Hermione's point of view, it's definitely not the best book for her because she's kind of turned to stone halfway through it. I mean, which I can cope with. It's okay lying in a bed in hospital for a long while. He is a fantastic director, but I think what's the best thing about him is the fact that he can always have a laugh. And I think he makes everything seem easygoing. Well, not easygoing, but just relaxed. Because a film set can be horrendously rushed and panicky, and, it's all really stressful, but somehow he kind of takes away the stress and makes it fun. And he's a very good director. He gets out of, I mean, all the actors something really fantastic, and I think they all shine because of him. And he's really great. Hermione is seriously dreamy about Lockhart. You know, he is basically the Brad Pitt of her day. And she's just obsessed with him, you know. And I think the really funny thing is that so is everyone else. And every lesson she just sits there with her hands like this going, oh, I love him, I love him, I love him. And in a way, I think he's quite fond of her, really. Kenneth Branagh he's great. He's really funny and he's really friendly and he's very down to earth, and I really like him, actually. He's really nice.
Yeah, he's kind of changed because his sister's now there, and he's kind of got to be the big brother, kind of looking after the sister, yeah. What happens is they can't get through the platform, so they have to take the flying car because they can't catch the train to get to Hogwarts. And then they just Ron doesn't really know how to fly the car, but he pretends to, and they get into a lot of trouble. Well, I was a bit jumpy about that scene because I'm really scared of spiders. So I didn't know really what to expect. But when I saw Aragog, it was really scary because it was massive and it was really scary.
It was nerve-wracking, but only because you were aware that it was a great big film. As much as there was expectation for the first one, there'd be equally great or greater expectation for the second one. People have very clear ideas about who these characters should be. But I came into a great family atmosphere. The warmth, the good humour that infuses the books is something that Chris Columbus, David Heyman, all of them really, that control the atmosphere, have produced. And also the amazing, to me, casting chemistry of the central trio with Dan and Emma and Rupert, who's clearly get on very well and who are a good company. They were the people actually central along with Chris that made me feel at ease. Chris Columbus has the gift of energy. Cannot be underestimated on a project that takes so long and requires such lightness of spirit. You need someone at the centre who has the energy to sustain that, energizes other people, and he has the gift of good cheer as well. So he's a smiler, also helps lift everyone's spirit. And then, the third thing that is, as a person is very handy, but is very good as a director, is the interest in and ability to listen to other people. Which he clearly does with all of the actors and the crew. So that's a winning combination at the centre of the job that makes it, very nice to come to work. Gilderoy is something of a dandy, and so all his clothes are rather dandified. He struts rather peacock kind of side to him. He enjoys clothes, enjoys his appearance. He's rather vain and self-congratulatory, and I think feels himself to be terrifically important, thinks of himself also as being terrifically modest. He is neither of those things, which various people point out to him during the course of the story. If we are to believe everything he says, and the film is partly, as far as he's concerned, finding out whether we are to believe everything he says, he has taken on more wizards and foul creatures and monsters than any other wizard in living memory. He retells these in all of his books, and he's absolutely unafraid to show the breadth and wealth of his talent. So as far as he's concerned, why wouldn't you, in the classroom you're teaching in, provide the class with evidence of your amazing skills? So, photograph of you as an aviator, as a fantastic Quidditch player, as a seaman, as a mountaineer, as an explorer. He's very, very full of himself in a delicious way, and doesn't really understand why anybody else wouldn't be. It's a burden to be Gilderoy Lockhart, but it has to be done, you know. He loves publicity, loves people asking for his autograph, and feels as though, it may not be mutual, but feels as though he's found a soulmate in Harry. Another, many would say more famous wizard, but Gilderoy would say almost as famous wizard, Harry Potter. And I think in coming to Hogwarts, he fully expects them to be bosom buddies, to benefit from Harry's fame, enjoy Harry's fame, perhaps steal a bit of it, and certainly steal a few of his tricks along the way. But he's unashamed. There isn't a shameful muscle in Gilderoy's body.
The second one out, there's a lot more actions, a lot more things happen. The adventures are much more intense and much longer. I can't wait to see the spiders. I'm quite dreading that, actually. I'm not a great spider fan, to be honest. I don't think they need my advice. They get all the advice they need from Christopher Columbus, really. He's a wonderful director with children. I do sometimes give them advice, even if they don't ask for it, and just say, look, do you mind if I tell you something? And they always say, no, go on, because they're very open about that. Because obviously, you know, I've been doing this for a while. So you do notice things and say things, you know, don't worry about this and don't worry about that. And yeah, so I hope I've been of some help to them. But they're growing up, definitely. I was watching Dan and Rupert standing there, and I thought they don't stand like wee boys anymore. You know, wee boys kind of shuffle and kick around. They're standing up, you know. That's astonishing. Poor old Hagrid's locked up in Azkaban for most of the film. Hagrid doesn't really have much of an active part in the adventures at all in Book 2. So I feel a bit of a part-timer in this one. Yes, I think you'll find that young Mr. Branagh gets most of the screen time in this one. Yeah, no bitterness there. The characters develop and the friendships develop. And the children are a year older, and that does make a difference. Hagrid just plods on his merry way, as Hagrid does. But the whole school becomes under threat, and the threat is much, much more real. A much, much darker piece, really.
I'd read the book when I saw the first one, and I'm not sure I've ever seen a book captured so faithfully on screen. And I couldn't quite believe I was going to get to play in the playground with all these people up there. A lot of my favourite actors, just chewing up the scenery, and I wondered what I could do to make a bold impression. Well, one of the original concepts was that, because I'm in the ministry, I'm very high up in the government. Lucius Malfoy is, the Malfoys have always been an influence in the wizarding world. The original concept was I should be in pinstripe suits, and I thought that he's an old aristocrat, and he's one of those people whose sofa is worn through in his giant country house, and that this has probably been in the family for generations. I don't know if this is an old family pet I've had made into a cape. Snakes everywhere for Slytherin, and the colours of Slytherin House everywhere you can see. And I carry a cane, which isn't here because it would steal the interview, but I had a cane with a big silver head on top. I do my best to get Dumbledore out of the way. It's always on my agenda to get Harry out of the way. And you'll have to see the film to see if it works. I arrived with some outlandish ideas, and he went for them all and just encouraged me to go further. And he's so great with they're not really kids anymore, but you know, with Harry and Ron and Hermione, and he's really not any different with the adults. He's just very, very gentle, and I think he realizes it's a lot more fun being here making this film than being down a mine somewhere, and he appreciates it all day. I wish that I had advice to give to a 13-year-old who's known from here to Kathmandu and back again. They're wiser than me by far. They've been living with an extraordinary amount of attention and will do for a long time to come. And what's great about them, I don't know how it's achieved. I don't know if it's their parents or if it's Chris or whatever, but they're terribly humble, very courteous, and seemingly still enjoying themselves and grateful. You know, they don't seem like 50-year-old lawyers, which a lot of American child actors do.
He's a real evil git. He gets a lot worse. And, yeah, he's a lot worse in the second film than he is in the first. His dad comes into play. So he gets a lot worse, and poor old Harry seems to take the blow. Draco's dad, his name's Lucius Malfoy. He comes into the story. He wasn't even really mentioned in the first one. He's quite a big part in the second one. He's great in the second one. It makes everything the Malfoy name a bit more scarier. And yeah, he's really good.
It was also exciting to make a darker picture, slightly more of an action-adventure film this time around, which is really exciting to me. It appeals to the 10-year-old boy inside of me. I really wanted to make an action-adventure, sort of Indiana Jones section of this film. And also, I think that the actors have improved. They've been working for a year and a half, so these kids are actually becoming seasoned professionals. And it used to take 10 or 11 takes to get to a certain point in their performances. Now it takes 3 or 4. And they're just very, very secure in their roles, very, very secure, and they know who they are as characters, which is good. I think CGI should be used very gingerly. You have to really take care and only use it in specific situations. So for me, it's important to, whenever we can, create the situations in a realistic setting, so that you have the real actors sitting in a real car in the context of this gigantic tree that actually is slamming its fist into the car. And you get some reactions from our kids that you just couldn't possibly get from basically sophisticated cartoon characters. So I think it's important to maintain that reality in each one of the scenes. Hogwarts was founded by 4 professors: Salazar Slytherin, Rowena Ravenclaw, Godric Gryffindor, and Helga Hufflepuff. Those 4 wizards founded Hogwarts. One of them graduated sort of more toward the dark arts, and that was Salazar Slytherin. So Slytherin built a secret chamber in the school called the Chamber of Secrets, wherein he could go and work on his dark magic. Well, at some point, the only way the chamber could be opened is, once Slytherin was dead, was by the true heir of Slytherin. And in the film, we try to, it's a bit of a mystery for trying to find out who the heir of Slytherin is. There's one way to play Gilderoy Lockhart, which is an incredibly sort of egotistical prima donna. But because culture has taken us into a different area, Ken and I talked about playing it in a much more subtle way. So you can see through his character. He pretends to be humble, and he pretends to be brave and strong, and he pretends to be a gracious person. But in reality, he's not any of those things. He's a complete and utter phony. I had seen Jason Isaacs in 2 films, and I thought, I really want to work with this guy. He's something special. The camera loves him. And unfortunately, the camera loves him in a really evil way. He personifies evil to me on screen sometimes.
Our goal with the films is to have them be true representations of the books, to in spirit and in story and character to reflect the books. So yes, the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a darker story than Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone as it's known in America. So yes, it was a conscious decision, and Chris, as a filmmaker, approached it in that way too. Slightly darker tones, aesthetically reflecting that slightly darker sensibility of the second book. With the first film, we had to set up so much, rather like the first book, actually, which is largely set up and the real narrative kicks in towards the end. In this film, we move into the story much more quickly, and the story is much more of an adventure, and that's reflected in the film. I think Chris deserves a lot of the credit, and the crew too. I think that the crew and everybody around them doesn't treat them as children or as too special. They tease them, they play games. I mean, this is a fantastic playground, Leavesden, and the film environment the environment that we have when we're making Harry Potter. I mean, it's an amazing world for somebody to play in, let alone a 12. It's amazing for a 40-year-old person, 41-year-old now, person like myself. So for a 12-year-old, you know, it's Oz, and I think that the kids have a great time, and yet they're kept on their toes. They're teased. They have to work hard, and they also have to do their schooling. You know, they have 3 hours of schooling, one-on-one. They can't slack in that. And the good news is that they did better this year than they've ever done before. It's one of those moments as a producer that you dream of, where you go, oh my goodness. And it's awe-inspiring. And I think that's great for the kids too. I think that the sets are actual, they're real, and it gives Dan, in that instance, something to play against. It's awe-inspiring. This was the Chamber of Secrets. It had to be awe-inspiring for Harry. It had to be intimidating, it had to be scary, and yet at the same time, it had to be a place that would inspire reverence on the part of some.
Did you say that I was wrong? Do you think that there's someone here who's worse than Dumbledore?
Harry Potter.
Good one, girl. You're absolutely right. St. Potter. He's another one with that proper wizard feeling. Otherwise he wouldn't go around with that mudblood Granger. And people actually think that he's the heir to Slytherin? You know what happened, Goyle? How many times do I have to tell you? Is this yours? But my father did say this much. It's been 50 years since the chamber was opened. He wouldn't tell me who opened it, only that they were expelled. But I know this. The last time the Chamber of Secrets was opened, a mudblood died. So it's only a matter of time before one of them gets killed this time.
37, take 1, 8, camera mark.
Tom, remember, and slow, telling a tale, it's sinister, soft, set, and action.
You know I don't, Goyle. How many times do I have to tell you? Is this yours?
You're a parcel mouth. Why don't you tell us?
I'm what? You can talk to snakes.
I know. I mean, I accidentally said a python on my cousin Dudley at the zoo once, but so what? I bet loads of people here can do it.
No, they can't. It's not a very common gift, Harry. This is bad.
What's bad? If I hadn't told that snake not to attack Justin...
Well, that's what you said to it.
You were there. You heard me.
I heard you speaking parcel tongue.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hey, welcome back. guys, once you come into the door, you see Harry. You're terrified. Everybody. You guys, especially, you're his friends. And you're a little wary of it, so you walk by like this, still looking at him, okay? A little nervous, and then everybody sort of hurries upstairs, okay? Door.
There's a reason the symbol of Slytherin is a serpent. Salazar Slytherin was a Parselmouth. He could talk to snakes too.
Exactly. Now the whole school's going to think you're his great-great-grandson or something.
But I'm not! I can't be.
He lived 1,000 years ago. For all we know, you could be.
Let's think. Who do we know who thinks all Muggleborns are scum?
If you're talking about Malfoy...
Of course I'm talking about Malfoy. You heard him. You'll all be next, mudbloods.
And go to Scabbers, then you turn to Scabbers, and you're tapping 3 times. Can't have your hand there. 1, 2, 3.
But if there really is a Chamber of Secrets, and it's really been opened, that means that...
The heir of Slytherin has returned to Hogwarts. The question is, who is it?
Let's think. Who do we know who thinks all Muggleborns are scum?
If you're talking about Malfoy...
Of course I'm talking about Malfoy. You heard him. You'll all be next, mudbloods.
And action!
Do you think it's true? Do you think there really is a Chamber of Secrets?
Yes. Can you tell? McGonagall's worried. All the teachers are.
But if there really is a Chamber of Secrets, and it's really been opened, then that means that...
The heir of Slytherin has returned to Hogwarts.
Can you come up like this? Be a little looser with this. You'll just be talking.
All right,
you know what I'm
recess
saying?
one,
You come up
please.
and you're like frozen like this, but you can be...
No.
Do you really think?
Of
course,
course,
use it. Tell me
Maybe
what,
go back
okay?
to your room, sir.
Good. Good job, though.
Cool.
Pull that across nicely.
But there might be another way. I knew it would be difficult. Not to mention, we'd be breaking about 50 school rules. And it would be dangerous. Very dangerous.
When do we start?
Cut.
Oh, you'll make me laugh.
All right, save the red, save the red. Reloading on C camera.
Excellent, Emma. Very good. Now, you got it now. And action.
Tut. Hardly any of you remember that my favourite colour is lilac. But Miss Hermione Granger knew that my secret ambition is to rid the world of evil and market my own range of hair care potions. Good girl. Come, be warned. It is my job to arm you against the foulest creatures known to wizard kind.
The camera. All right, guys, lots of excitement. Set and action.
Tut, hardly any of you remember that my favourite colour is lilac. But Miss Hermione Granger knew that my secret ambition is to rid the world of evil and market my own range of hair care potions. Good girl.
C camera.
All right, guys, set and action.
Tut. Hardly any of you remember that my favourite colour is lilac. But Miss Hermione Granger knew that my secret ambition is to rid the world of evil and market my own range of hair care potions.
You mean the Chamber of Secrets has been opened before?
Of course. Don't you see? Lucius Malfoy must have opened it when he was here. And now he's told Draco how to do it.
Maybe. We'll have to wait for the Polyjuice potion to know for sure.
Enlighten me. Why are we bringing this potion in broad daylight in the middle of a girl's lavatory? Don't you think we'll get caught?
No, I mean, rest on your knees. Yes, we're just go.
I'm scared.
He has sportingly agreed to help me with a short demonstration. Now, I don't want any of you youngsters to worry. You'll still have your potions, Master, when I'm through with him. Never fear. Wands at the ready.
Scared, Potter.
You wish.
On the count of three. On the count of three, cast your charms to disarm your opponent. Only to disarm. We don't want any accidents here. 1, 2.
Inverte Statine.
Great. Malfoy, perhaps 1 second.
Malfoy.
Great.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. That was
Yeah.
excellent, by the way. Excellent.
That's fine.
That was not great. It was quite
I quite fancy it, but I did have a neck injury then, so I suspect.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
That's where you point to, and that's where Malfoy flips backwards. So you just be looking.
Thing in the air there.
Rictus Sempra!
I said disarm only! Serpent Sortia!
Don't move, Potter. I'll take care of it.
Allow me!
1013, GNER service, Glasgow, from platform 7, overhead Steve Edition.
Set and action! 1, 2, 3.
Rictus Sempra!
I said disarm only! Serpent Sortia! Snake!
Bloody bird's a menace. Oh no.
Heads up, everyone. Weasley's got himself a howler.
Go on, Ron. I ignored him for my gran once, and it was horrible.
Sorry, love. Don't invite me to do that again.
B camera mark.
Set and action!
Out of my way, Potter. So, the rumours are true. You've returned.
Oh, yeah. Well, the governor's heard that Arthur Weasley's daughter had been taken to the chamber. They saw fit to summon you back.
Idiots.
Set. Set and action!
3, 2, 1, go.
4:58, take 3 on the end.
Gotta wait. Gotta.